everyone, this is Nirali Shah, and as per my promise, I'm here for my live book read. It is a gift book read from this wonderful book called New Earth by Eckhart Tolle, and this is going to be the 18th day of this book read, which is part of Philosopher's Stone Book Club. And this entire book club is initiated to bring about that inner exploration for those who like the world of metaphysics, who like to explore the mysteries of life, and who have been in the journey of such exploration. Then this is going to be the platform where we all like-minded people come together and we read some of those best-selling books like this that explores the mysteries of life that has been stored by some of those insightful, visionary philosophers and thinkers and spiritual mentors who have seen world, who have channeled messages from higher dimensions, and they've kind of stored it in books so that people like us, explorers like us, can find these wisdom, and we can utilize it in our life. We can take next steps towards becoming that being, the true being that we are, and eliminate all those programming, all those patterns that is coming in the way of we becoming that. So it's a wonderful platform. We are already meeting every Sunday 3:30 Indian time, and it's a wonderful journey, and we have been reading this wonderful book, and I would kind of keep the name secret and only meant for the members of the Stone Book Club. But here I will begin the book, Eckhart Tolle's New Earth, Creating a Better Life. And the chapter we're reading today, it's Good and Bad. So we did a lot of previous read on various other chapters such as collective pain, conscious parenting, how to be with children, how to not allow children to engage in the collective pain right from the childhood. What is collective consciousness? What is abundance? What is keeping us away from operating as an abundance mindset? And a lot of beautiful chapters. And if you want to know more about these chapters, then you can look down on my Facebook profile, or in my Facebook page, or in my Insta page as well. You will find some of those clips, some of those excerpts from this book. And now I will begin reading the chapter, The Good and the Bad, and let's see what Eckhart Tolle has to say about the concept of good and bad. Now, this good and bad is a very common concept that we have known right from the childhood. Parents have taught us that, this is good, this is bad, there is a right way and the wrong way. Something, a certain path is a good path and a certain path is a bad path. Now, the fine line between good and bad, and what is a higher perspective to good and bad, this is what Eckhart Tolle is going to talk about in this chapter. So let's read and let's understand a higher perspective. At some point in their lives, most people become aware that there is not only birth, growth, success, good health, pleasure, and winning, but also loss, failure, sickness, old age, decay, pain, and death. Conventionally, these are labeled as good and bad, order and disorder. The meaning of people's lives is usually associated with what they term the good, but the good is continually threatened by collapse, breakdown, disorder, threatened by meaninglessness and the bad, when explanation fail and life ceases to make sense. Sooner or later, disorder will erupt into everyone's life, no matter how many insurances, policies he or she has. It's so true, we take insurance policies to secure our future, but it doesn't stop the life from sending disorders and chaos in our life. So what do we do? Are we really and truly securing our future by just buying insurance policy, or there is something more? So let's see what Eckhart Tolle has to say. It may come in the form of loss or accident, sickness, disability, old age, death. However, the eruption of disorder into a person's life and the resultant collapse of mentally defined meaning can become the opening into higher order. That's true. Any disorder, any chaos in life can doesn't have to always be a disorder. It is an opening into higher order. The wisdom of this world is folly with God. What is the wisdom of this world? The movement of thought and meaning that is defined exclusively by thought. So I'll kind of try and explain what this means. It's like, everything that we define in our world and our relative life, from morning to even till we fall asleep, or day to day, week to week, year to year, everything is defined by mind, recognized by mind, studied by mind. But Eckhart Tolle says thinking isolates a situation or even and calls it good or bad, as if it has a separate existence. Though excessive reliance on thinking, reality becomes fragmented. And that's so true. Anything that is in excess uh, is somewhere, taking us away from the truth, or, as per Eckhart Tolle, he says that reality becomes fragmented when we are into too much of thinking. This fragmentation is an illusion. So somewhere the thinking is an illusion, and it is relative, and let's see what he says. But it seems very real while you are trapped in it. And yet the universe is an indivisible whole in which all things are interconnected, in which nothing exists in isolation. So as he says, wherever we are thinking on something, we are isolating things, we are separating things from with good or bad. This is a white path, and this is a black path. This is a right path, and this is a good path, and this is a bad path. A right choice or a bad choice. We keep judging every moment of our action with good or bad, right and wrong. And Eckhart Tolle says universe is a whole. It is not segregating or separating things. It likes to keep things as whole. It doesn't isolate things into two different things or separate it. The deeper interconnectedness of all things and events implies that the mental labels of good and bad are ultimately illusionary. So that means somewhere, if you're looking to be more happier, we are looking to take decisions beyond the thoughts as a vision, and when we're looking to go in the flow of the universe of life, that is actually living rather than just dragging ourselves to our day-to-day task and trying to achieve something and running behind something, when we're going towards that kind of a life. And I believe most of the people who are awakening in this time, who are waking up to their true self, somewhere they know that there is something beyond and more than what they see and have learned throughout, these are the people who will find that the good and bad labels are illusionary and there is something more to that. It's a limited perspective. Eckhart says that they always imply a limited perspective and so are truly only relative and temporary. Relative and temporary in a way that something may be good and bad for you, may not be good and bad for that person. So it's relative to the person and person's individual journey. It is not supposed to be holistic for everybody. Something that is good for you may not be good for somebody else. Simple examples such as a certain food is is liked by you and is perfectly giving you good health, may be an allergic food to somebody else. He may be falling sick because of that. So does it mean the food is wrong or food is bad? No, it's working for you. You enjoy it. That person is not enjoying it, and that person, it's not good for that person. So it's relative and it's temporary. Maybe in some time, maybe after certain cure, that person will be able to enjoy that food as well. That as a child we hated certain food and we didn't even want to put that in our mouths, and as we grow we kind of crave for the same food. A dark chocolate, there was a time when dark chocolate was bitter and we didn't like it, and we had always a craving for sweet chocolates or milk chocolates. And as you grow your taste buds change and then you want to have more of dark chocolate, or you've become more health conscious because your perspective changed and now you are preferring more of dark chocolate. So something like that, that was temporarily, that was good for you, and dark chocolate was bad for you. The same way, and how it has changed, same way, all the daily thoughts, all the daily decisions that we make, we're constantly segregating it between good and bad. And Eckhart Tolle says that it is relative and temporary, and it is a limited perspective. Now this illustrated in the story of a wise man. Now he's sharing this beautiful story about a wise man's experience. So he once won an expensive car in a lottery, and his family and friends were very happy for him and came to celebrate. "Isn't it great?" they said. "You are so lucky." The man smiled and said maybe. For a few weeks he enjoyed driving the car, and then one day the drunken driver crashed into his new car at an intersection and he ended up in a hospital. Oh my god. And he with all his injury, his family and friends came to see him and said, "Oh, that was very unfortunate." And again man smiled and said, "Maybe." What is the mystery behind he saying maybe to every experience? Let's know. While he was still in the hospital, one night there was a landslide and his house fell into the sea. Again his friends came and said, "Weren't you lucky to have been here in hospital again?" "Maybe," he said. The wise man's maybe signifies a refusal to judge anything that happens. Instead of judging what is, he accepts it and so enters into conscious alignment with the higher order. Wow, that's so beautiful. Somewhere we wonder, you know we want to be neutral. We don't want to fall prey into judging our circumstances, our doings, our actions, but how to go about it. And this is beautiful. But then this was something that came from within him. He didn't have to put an effort. And the journey of higher order is supposed to be effortless. It has to be easy because you're traveling towards your being. It is not it cannot be hard. So how to make it easy? That is a beautiful question. Someday in one of these chapters we might explore answer to that question. All right, so we take the next paragraph. So the wise man's maybe signifies a refusal to judge anything that happens. Instead of judging what is, he accepts and so enters into conscious alignment with the higher order. And he knows that often it is impossible for the man man's mind to understand what place or purpose a seemingly random event has in the tapestry of the whole. And that's so true. As human being, with our limited mind and limited perspective, sometimes we don't know each event, place, purpose, a person and a situation is taking us as a whole. But there are no random events, there are no coincidences. That's what I learned once. So everything is in a perfect harmony, in the perfect flow. Nor are there events or things that exist by and for themselves in isolation. So, in this world, in this universe, nothing is isolated. My God, that's so beautiful. And you know what? This is exactly what we discussed in our last Philosopher's Stone book club, where our members we discussed about synchronicities, and we had this question coming up that why, how do we know that something is a message coming to us from the universe or something is speaking to us? And wow, Eckhart Tolle is giving us this beautiful answer that we are we are one with everything and nothing is isolated in the universe. And so the atom that make up your body were once forged into stars, and the cause of event, the smallest event, are virtually infinite and connected with the whole in incomprehensible ways. If you wanted to trace back the cause of any event, you would have to go back all the way to the beginning of creation, meaning anything happening right now may have its cause somewhere way back in the beginning of the universe. The cosmos is not chaotic. The very word cosmos means order. But this is not an order the human mind can ever comprehend, although it can sometimes glimpse it. So beautiful. Our human mind is so limited, our logic is so limited that the higher order is difficult to understand and grasp by this limited mind, in one of my favorite movies, Doctor Strange, that's part of Marvel series. um, the ancient one asked Doctor that you have been trying to expand your keyhole, which is like your limited mind, your entire life, and now when you're getting the chance to look at everything in a more holistic way, you are rejecting it. Oh my God, that's so beautiful, and that's exactly what we do. We reject the possibility of a higher order because our mind cannot grasp it. Anything that is bigger than mind and bigger than logic, we find it difficult to understand, and so we reject it completely. But what if we do not reject it, but somewhere we have that what else is possible that and available in this world that I know, because somewhere as we are all part of this world, we know we come from all of that and we know what is true for us, for our being, and for our journey. And going beyond mind, we know this. And I have been very fortunate to be able to explore this knowing and places that are true for me. And that is exactly what I would want to show those who come on my way through the Alchemy of Being platform, which is my YouTube channel, or Philosopher's Stone Book Club platform, where we explore knowledge and metaphysical world and the subtle worlds um, through books, or those who come to me for the personal exploration, for the personal sessions. This is exactly what I'm meant to I'm willing to, I'm looking to expand in me and in all of those people who cross my path. So, with that, I will finish this chapter, wind up this chapter, and in the next chapter that is going to be read in day after tomorrow, and in that chapter, I'm going to be reading this title called Triggers. So, there are experiences and incidences in life where something triggers us because we have lived that kind of an experience before, and when that experience in some other way repeats, come back to us, we are triggered way before and more intensely. So we'll know what Eckhart Tolle has to say about triggers in the next read, which is going to be day after tomorrow, and you'll be updated of the time. And I'll see you soon on this gift book read platform. Take care. Bye bye.